How to store English muffins. Can they be left at room temperature, or do they need to be stored in the refrigerator? In this video we share some tips on how to store English muffins to prevent them from spoiling too quickly. Tips for storing English muffins. The English muffin is a leavened bread, prepared with yeast, which is not baked in the oven but rather cooked on a griddle. Like other breads, it can harden or get moldy, requiring some care. If English muffins are kept at room temperature, they should be stored inside a plastic bag or a container with a lid, in a cool, dry place, away from sunlight. They can last about 3 to 4 days at room temperature. If you are going to eat them within this time, leave them at room temperature as they taste better. English muffins can even be stored in the refrigerator if you don't want to leave them at room temperature, but it is important to note that they lose their natural texture and will get strange more quickly, dry and flavorless. It doesn't taste as good as when at room temperature. Therefore, if you want to preserve them for longer, the ideal is to freeze them. English muffins with fillings or toppings must be stored in the refrigerator in a container with a lid, even if they become drier. This is because these fillings and toppings spoil very quickly. Can I freeze English muffins? The best way to preserve English muffins for longer is precisely by freezing them in the freezer. To store in the freezer, cut the muffins in half using a fork and wrap each part in plastic wrap or aluminum foil. Place these pieces inside an airtight container to minimize contact with the cold freezer air as much as possible, which burns the bread dough. Place the English muffins in the freezer. They will last about 3 months without losing their properties. After this time, it doesn't mean they have spoiled, but they might have a modified texture and flavor. If it's a filled muffin or one with topping, you don't need to split it in half, freeze it whole. But be careful when freezing these muffins, as their shelf life will be much shorter due to the filling or topping, which have a shorter durability. They usually only last 1 month in the freezer. How to know if the English muffins have spoiled? Normally, English muffins don't spoil, but they become dry, flavorless, hard, and mold can appear. If you notice anything wrong, do not eat them, not even in case of mold. Because even if you remove what you are seeing, there is mold inside the muffin that is not visible to the naked eye, and it can be harmful to your health.